welcome back to my channel. Today is all about finding homes for all of the plants that I have purchased and that still remain laying around the backyard. Tell me I'm not alone. Do you ever go to a nursery, see all the pretty things and say, I gotta have it, I know I'll find a spot for it, and they come home and they sit and there you are, racing the clock as to when you can get them in the ground, when they're going to dry out, or worse yet, sometimes they even die on you because you never found a place for them. Do you do this? Let me know in the comments because I want to feel like I'm not alone. Today I want to go ahead and find homes for those plants. I do know where most of them are going to go. I have some containers that need to be filled up. I told you in the last video that I did buy a couple new pepper plants. I want to refresh my green stock, so just kind of a lot of little things that need to be taken care of. I thought if I take you along with me, maybe I will inspire you to go ahead and do the same thing. And kind of an ulterior motive that I have, I just placed an order with Proven Winners for 3 new perennials that I want to place in the garden. But my bargain with myself was that I would get everything else planted before I actually hit the order button. So I want to get them ordered because I want to get them here. I want to include them in a upcoming garden tour. So my encouragement to you today is maybe get a pad and pencil out. 2 things. If you have stuff laying around, jot down where you want to put them. And if you don't, what holes are there that you need to fill that some new plants would take care of that for you. So that is all the chit chat for this morning. Once again, I thank you for subscribing and I welcome you to all the new subscribers. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, I'd love to have you do that. So let's go ahead and get to gardening. Okay, this is where we are going to start. I have some hollyhock, some miniature dahlias, a few snapdragon, I think lobelia. These are actually a miniature lavender, and I think I'm going to try those in the rock crevice. A few little violas, and that is bee balm that I started from seed. So this is our first flat. I also have this strawberry that needs to go into that hole there. Don't judge me, but I do also have all of this that needs to go into a container that I have planned for it. And lastly, I have this lettuce. Oh, not lastly, I do have one more thing. In the raised bed planter, that is a peek at my Eden rose. Isn't it gorgeous? Lastly, I have a couple of bell peppers that I need to find a spot for in here. So that is our day of gardening, morning of gardening. I do want to show you really quickly. Look what just came up. My very first ever artichoke. Super excited about that. I am going to start with getting these peppers in the ground. I already have in here 1 jalapeno. I looked for another jalapeno and I couldn't find one, which was really weird. So I purchased this hatch pepper, which is kind of a mild heat, but still a little bit of heat. So that is going in here, and then I purchased another shishito, which is a mild heat as well. So I have always heard that pepper plants like to touch hands, so you should plant them fairly close together. I also heard, and I don't know if it's true, that you should not plant peppers near beans, near green beans. And I know that I have some green beans in here, so I'm going to try to keep the peppers close right here, and then I know the beans are on the either end of this. So we're going with that. The other thing that I'm going to do, and I did not bring it with me, is I have some cut up banana peels. I heard banana peels in the bottom of your pepper plants is good for them. It releases potassium slowly. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those peels. I am also going to add a little bit of my Corazol, I think that's how you say it, which encourages root growth. So let me grab the banana peels and we'll get these peppers planted, and that will be 2 things off of my excess plant list. Okay, I have my banana peels. You do want to plant your peppers relatively deeply, and once I get it planted, I will probably take off the lower leaves here and just encourage it. You can see that there actually looks like there may be 2 plants in here. I'm not going to divide it. I'm just going to put it in just like this. If it were tomatoes, I probably would divide it because I'd get more tomato plants. Since I know that pepper plants like to be planted close together, I'm going to leave it. Just mulched, I just mulched this bed. So all I did was kind of pull away the straw so that I have a little hole here. And that is it. I backfilled it with a little good quality topsoil. This bed has really wonderful soil already, so I'm not that worried about it. I had amended it pretty heavily with rabbit droppings earlier in the season. So just going to gently tap it in. That one's good. I'm going to try to find a room for my shishito on this side and keep planting. In my defense, I don't buy shoes, and this brings me so much joy, so much happiness. It connects me to nature, it connects me to God. Yeah, it is my obsession, I guess, in a good way. It's a healthy thing to do. Didn't buy them all at one time. You can see most of them, they have holes in them where I've planted one thing, or like this, it's a combination of things. I planted a few from one pack and then I put them together. It's just what I don't want to do, and what I would encourage you is I don't want to be wasteful with them. I want to be sure that they find a home that is going to be the right place for them, and that they will continue to bloom through the season. So a lot of them are going into one place. I do have I told you an area that I'm working on, that little seating area. I'm going to reveal that when it's all done, so I'm not going to show you where the trough of flowers ends up, but I'm going to get planted today. So one more thing, this is a green stalk. I have 2 of them. One of them I have planted just with strawberries, and the other I have planted several different things in. It was an investment, but I'm going to tell you I really, really like this for the reason that I just did right now, I can move it. If it's too sunny one day, I can roll it into the shade. I don't have to bend too far to get to things. The strawberries, the vegetables, whatever I put in it is kept up off the ground, so there's not a lot of slug damage because they really just can't get into it. Each layer is its own, so like on the bottom I have mint, and you know, mint can tend to spread. Well, I know it's only going to spread in that one bottom layer. So a wonderful investment for me. They have sales all the time. I am not an affiliate. I don't get any kind of kickback or whatever for this. I'm just telling you, if you have a small space, something like this really maximizes what you are able to grow in that space. So all I have to do today, you can see it is full of strawberries. Most of them are doing really well. I have to do a little cleanup on it, but one of them didn't take for whatever reason, and that happens. So I bought one. I'm just gonna plug this in here, water this as well, and then I'm gonna move on. I will say one more thing about a container like this, or really any other container, and I've said this before, they require regular fertilizing. Just with a good liquid fertilizer, an organic one, because this is food that you are going to eat. So once a month I just come in and give it all a good fertilizing. I just want to show you where I planted everything. I put the hollyhocks back in here. I had already had a few that reseeded, so it just made sense to go ahead and add the ones that I purchased. I don't know if you can see them back there. So those will come up this summer when the foxglove are done. Put another bit back in here. I should also have some dahlias coming up back here. And you saw the peppers. There. Snapdragon tucked in here. And the rest of them just scattered in the wildflower pollinator garden. It should be a beautiful summer when everything is in bloom. If it's anything like the spring, we're in for a treat. It was a busy work day. Glad it's done. I did what I said I was going to do. And now I can feel a little less guilty next time I go shop planting. Happy gardening. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.